All right, so as we start to really recap what this class for the Oklahoma Sooners is going to look like in 2024, we need to take a look at the defensive backfield, right? What does this back seven for look like for Oklahoma? Are they potentially just going to get any the true athlete and true dogs in this class? And then we'll run through the entire list and give you guys a mock um, composite prediction. Now, remember, these are 100% predictions. This is not a guarantee. And things are going to change, right? We're going to be flexible. We just want to take an opportunity to take a guess out there, go back at the end of the year, at the end of the recruiting cycle, and look and see where I landed in terms of the recruiting game and who's going to commit. But before we do all that, please go ahead and hit that like and the subscribe button. Let me know what you all are thinking down in the comments below. Who do you guys think in the secondary, in the defensive backfield for Oklahoma will commit to OU in 2024? So when you look at the back seven for any team, I think you have to start at the linebacker position. And when you look at who Oklahoma got in 2023, a lot of people, you were really impressed because you go out there and you get a guy in Samuel Omosigo who he rose through the recruiting rankings. He's a guy that I think a lot of people have really good optimism for. And I want to start by saying this Oklahoma class would not have been what it was without who they took at the linebacker position. That's how important some of these linebacker grabs, I think, were for the Oklahoma Sooners. You look at the four-star linebacker in Lewis Carter, right? Lewis Carter was another great pickup. Phil Picciotti. This is a guy that you expect over the term of his career here at Oklahoma will potentially grow and develop as an inside linebacker and a good one, if that. And then you got Taylor Heim from Bethany, Oklahoma. Played a little linebacker there, an athlete. Curious how they're going to use him. But that's kind of what they got there. And especially highlighting the Samuel Omosigo and Lewis Carter pickups, how do you follow that up in 2024? Well, for me, I look at it and go, it's pretty simple. Everybody has been looking at the Peyton Pierce recruitment because when you look at Peyton Pierce and you look at just in 2021 what he did in his production on the field there, 131 tackles, 21 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 6 pass breakups, and 5 forced fumbles. In 2021, right? That's really good. And if he goes and he puts out another strong senior year, you would expect that Peyton Pierce is going to, again, rise on the boards even more and potentially climb inside the top 100. Now, Peyton Pierce, listen, if Notre Dame and Oklahoma fans have not had a reason to hate each other because of anybody with a name, first name Peyton in that battle, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Peyton Bowen. Peyton Pierce is going to be another one, right? It's lining up to look like it's going to be Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Ohio State, maybe in there as well, looking in there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because he has been there. He's attended the junior day for Oklahoma. He's been there for Ohio State. Now, Ohio State's got the offer. Obviously, Notre Dame's been a player for a long time, but you're hearing a lot of optimism, right, from everybody coming out around Peyton Pierce, the 6'1", 210 linebacker out of Lovejoy, Texas, taking 4 visits to Oklahoma. And like I said, now he's taking some visits to Texas too, so maybe Texas is in there, but you're really kind of hearing Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Ohio State. The second linebacker that you guys need to be looking at in the 2024 class is Drew Woodaz, or I think I said his last name right. The 6'3", 190-pound linebacker out of Tampa, Florida. He's taken 2 visits to Oklahoma, has a really good long-standing relationship with Brent Venables and his time at Clemson. Now, Clemson is in this race as well. And it would not shock me, and it should not shock you to see this kid potentially commit there. Because, well, it's probably what he's familiar with. But with the long-standing relationship that Venables has and his track record with linebackers, you would expect that Drew Woodaz potentially could be an Oklahoma Sooner. I'm going to go ahead and pencil him here in at this position. Additionally, you've got at the cornerback position, Eli Bowen. I don't think I really need to say anything more about the 5'9", 165-pound cornerback because, well, his brother's here, and I think everybody expects him to commit to Oklahoma. Now, he's taking a ton of visits to Notre Dame, and a lot of that can be tailored to the recruitment of Peyton Bowen. But I'm going to pencil him in as one of the cornerbacks for Oklahoma, maybe even one of the first ones to commit. I also have on the safety position, I have Jordan Johnson Rubel. Now, some of you guys might really scratch your head here. OU was included in his top 12. The 5'11", 180-pound safety out of Fort Worth, Texas, actually goes to the same school as David Stone, IMG Academy. For those of you who watch the show, you know that I have predicted David Stone to end up at Oklahoma because, well, it's kind of a given, right? I think we all expect him to end up at Oklahoma. It would be more, I think, of a reach to say he goes somewhere else, right? Even if it's Michigan State where he's been a while. But Brandon Hall has a good relationship in this recruitment. I know some people are kind of feeling off about it. I'm not jumping off the train yet. Not jumping off. So for now, I'm putting Jordan Johnson Rubel as a commit to the University of Oklahoma at the safety position. And we're going to check the weather here real quick because, guys, we're actually under a tornado watch here in Yukon, Oklahoma, and it looks like we're just getting rain. So nifty little iPhone giving you those weather updates. But continuing to dive into the safety, you have Aaron Flowers, the 6 foot, 185-pound safety out of Forney, Texas. Listen, you're hearing about this relationship with Oklahoma being very, very strong, right? Taking 2 or more visits to Oklahoma, developed a good relationship with Hall. This is one guy that, I mean, we're pretty much saying is a given outside of Eli Bowen and David Stone, where they don't have maybe existing relationships there already in their recruiting or in their recruiting visits. Additionally, you have Michael Patterson McDonald, the safety, the 5'11", 175-pound safety out of Moore, Oklahoma. We've had him here on the show. Great kid. OU is his dream school. So do not let that, fool you. OU is his dream school. And David Stone is his best friend. And so, again, I think this comes down to another recruit that could follow David Stone. When you see David Stone commit to Oklahoma, watch the apples start to fall from the tree. Because that's what's going to happen. They're going to fall. They're going to start committing. You're going to see this class really start to take shape. Normally, you see the quarterback lead a class and put it together. I think you're going to see David Stone lead the class for the Oklahoma Sooners and put it together. And so, really talented kid. I think he's going to continue to evolve in his game. If he has a really strong senior year, I think this guy's actually going to end up in the composite as a 4-star, maybe even a top 150 player in the country. So you need to watch out for this kid. Now, you only heard me mention one cornerback, and that's because, well, I'm kind of iffy on that position and kind of what Oklahoma could get, just because I think there's a lot of different ways they could go. A lot of them are maybe on the higher tier side, but I want to give you guys some names that you guys need to watch out for at the cornerback and the safety position. So the first one being 5-star cornerback Kobe Black. He's been to Oklahoma State 6 or 7 times. His brother goes to school there, and I believe if OSU really wants to take this kid, they're going to end up landing him. But I think they're also leaving the door open for Oklahoma and Texas A&M to jump in on this recruitment. Kobe Black was supposed to be there on the January 28th junior day. You're hearing rumors that he potentially might be there on the 4th, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that one and see if he ends up making it to Norman. 5-star cornerback Charles Lester. OU did not make it in his top school list, but I know Valai does hold a strong relationship there, so you would kind of expect that maybe OU, if they really, really wanted Charles Lester, could maybe try to get in on this recruitment. Wouldn't shock me. 5-star safety KJ Bolden. He's been to Oklahoma twice last year. I expect him to commit to Clemson. That's where I expect him to go. But you're hearing something that could heat up for the Oklahoma Sooners. Again, this is not one that I expect Oklahoma to land. This is not. But you can't count Oklahoma and Brandon Hall and Jay Valai out. You just can't. 4-star cornerback Xavier Filsaime. You're hearing of the great relationship that he has with Brandon Hall. But Georgia is moving in really quickly on this commitment. In fact, they already have an official visit set up for June 16th. OU could be losing some ground here. And I don't know what you do to make that back up, especially with Georgia getting in the race. It might take, hey, he commits to Georgia. OU has a really good season and he flips his commitment. That might be what it takes. But that's one that I think everybody needs to keep their eye on. It was one that I originally was higher on. But like I said, after he set up his official for Georgia and it was the first one he set up, I started to kind of be like, oh, I don't know about that one. 4-star safety Jaden Hardy. This recruitment, again, it's another one that's starting to heat up for the Sooners. It's starting to get interesting. If the Sooners can maybe get another visit, that will end up making, I think, 2 for them. You can maybe see them start to make up some ground here. So I don't know if he's attending for the March 4th Junior Day, but I think it's something that we all have to pay attention to and watch. So where is this class going to land? Right? Let's wrap it up. Let's talk about all these players. On the defensive line, you got David Stone, Sadavian Sims, Williams Winery, Nigel Smith. I'm not sold on Zena Yumio Ozulu yet, but I'm going to include him in there just because I think if you land Hawkins, I think you can land Zena. Tyler Moore, Bergen Kaisar. Then you've got Michael Hawkins, Bryant Wesco, Devon Mitchell. If Devon Mitchell ends up committing in this class, right? Supposedly he's supposed to be reclassifying. If he doesn't reclassify, I want to put Jaden Riddell in there. But for now, I'm going to put Devon Mitchell in there because it sounds like he's going to end up reclassifying and being in this class. Josiah Martin, Zion Kearney, Casey Poe, Willie Goodacre, Liam Andrews, Andrew Spag, Caden Massey, Peyton Pierce, Drew Woodas, Eli Bowen, Michael Patterson McDonald, Jordan Johnson Rubel, and Aaron Flowers. When I look at this class, I put it in the class calculator, puts you at about 22 commits, still leaves you room to go out there and get more, which you know this staff will do, right? So you got to stay tuned in. Got to hit that notification bell so that you can get those constant updates. Who are you looking at? 22 commits at a 287.38 composite score. To put that in perspective, Georgia right now sits at a 225.76 composite score with 10 commits. Now, they do have 3 5-stars in their class. And if OU is able to go out there and land maybe a Sammy Brown, if they're out there to go in, maybe land a KJ Bolden, maybe that starts to close the gap a little bit. Georgia right now, it looks like they're going to run away with the number in class. I actually don't think Georgia's going to maintain that this year. I think a school like Florida or Oklahoma or even Clemson really has a shot at jumping in there and shaking things up this year. So that's it. We're wrapping it up. That's what I think is going to happen this year. So jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Who do you think commits to the Oklahoma Sooners in the 2024 class? And listen, at the end of the cycle, we're going to come back to this and we're going to revisit kind of how the predictions went. And we're going to let you guys decide right now. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bells. As I said before, you're going to want to stay tuned in to what I'm talking about on the show with all of the new additions that could be potentially happening on the recruiting trail.